Hey, Shalom. I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and love to you, Akim, pushing this truth throughout the four winds. All right, just back with another lesson, man. Hope it's edifying through the Spirit. It's entitled The Great What If That Wasn't. Keep the faith, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Keep the faith. And that great what if is a historical what if that's not even possible. Okay, and it's going to explain why. Okay, and the Wadi how about Shem Shah for that what if not being, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, start at verse 11. It says, therefore, whether it were I or they, so we preach, and so ye believed. Now if Hamashiach be preached that he rose from the dead, how some say among you that there is no resurrection of the dead. So it's a question. If Yahweh Shah, if he be rose from the dead, like some people really don't believe that today. I've actually heard people say this out of their mouth. Ain't no man can die and 3 days later come back again. I really heard this. I heard a few people say this before, and it was basically Muslims, but it's people that don't believe that because it's something that they don't see, and something that's not ordinary to the human eye. You know what I'm saying? But you people think things can't happen because they have no faith and they don't believe in miracles. You got to keep in mind, man, this is the Creator and his Son. This is not your average human being. This is not your average spirit. Okay? And we see in Matthew 27, I'm going to start at 50, that this is the account. It says, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? Okay, so if Yahweh Shah died and he resurrected from the dead to resurrect us from the dead. Okay, so how can it be basically a what if or a denial of it? In Matthew 27 and 50, it says, Yahweh Shai, when he cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. Okay? It says, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. And the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city and appeared unto many. That means it was a great awakening. Okay? So Yahweh Shah, when he died and was resurrected, us that were dead resurrected. Okay? And it was the Great Awakening. Okay, that's what it's known as, the Great Awakening. So people can't question whether this happened or not, because if it wouldn't have, you wouldn't have Israelites today keeping laws, statutes, and commandments and giving that same spirit of resurrection or life, that quickening from his spirit. It was given to us, and what we do is the same thing, because that's exactly what we were resurrected to do. Okay? So, let's go to verse 13. It says, but if there be no resurrection of the dead, then is Hamashiach not risen? So if it's no resurrection of him dying and being brought back to life, that means he's still in the grave. Now go figure. That means he died and he's still in the ground. And if Hamashiach be not risen, then is our preaching in vain? So we're doing this for nothing? Okay? And this is why you have to have the spirit of truth, and you have to have the Spirit. You got to have the Holy Spirit, and you have to have truth together. Okay? To have faith to believe these things. All right? It says, and your faith also in vain. So all the things we're doing basically hold no weight if none of these things happen. Yea, and if we are found false witnesses of the Most High, because we have testified of the Most High that he is risen, he raised up Hamashiach. So now we become false witnesses. So now we become liars if this never happened. And that's not a good thing. Okay? So now we become liars, false witnesses. Everything we're doing is in vain. And you know what this ultimately means? Oh, we in some fucking trouble. Okay? We in some trouble if these things haven't taken place or it's not going to take place. That means we're in trouble. That means we got more captivities to go through. Well, that means none of this stuff is real. Okay? It says, because we have testified of the Most High that he raised up Hamashiach, whom he raised up not. That means we were liars. We saying he did it, but he didn't. If so be that the dead rise not. So nobody's risen up. All the things we said were lies. And it was just basically vain and pointless. So now we're just basically babbling for no reason. That's that what if. And they have people that believe this. Okay? Which is crazy. And if Hamashiach be not risen, your faith is vain. Ye are yet in your sins. So, in other words, a lot of people possibly feel this way also. That's only Old Testament believers. Okay? They're only Old Testament believers. So, the thing is, you would have to basically erase our slavery, because that's in the Bible. You'd have to erase that. And you would have to basically, the story is just what we basically go on that was passed down generation to generation. So now we're basically just going to believe Esau's lies. That we were immigrants. That we migrated over here. Okay? Because you can't fulfill this story without having things prophesied that will happen to us. Okay, so this what if is null and void. But it's just basically saying, if you have someone approach you and this is the way they feel, that means you can go right to this and let it be known. Okay? It says, ye are yet in your sins. That means we're still walking around thinking we repented and we still are filthy. That means the whole nation of Israel we have to die off this whole generation. Now keep in mind, if we die off this whole generation, that means when we're reincarnated, imagine the wickedness, because we're going to be born into homosexuality. Just look at it now. It's running rampant. You could be born into a family of a woman in the next generation. If none of these things were true, you would be born into a family that loves everything. All is one. Everybody would be chipped. Okay, it would be one society. Everybody's homosexuals and everybody accepts homosexuality. No one is going to have any principles or grounds to stand on that's righteous. Okay, so this has to be true. It has to be. Okay? It says, verse 18, then they also which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished. That means everybody, the elect, is perished. Everybody is done with. If Yahweh Shai wouldn't have made that sacrifice. Okay? Keep the faith, brothers. Keep the faith. This is real. This is the realest thing that's ever happened to us. Okay? The realest. We understand that some people are going to lose faith in the end. But we have to understand, this is all we have to hold on to. All right? That's faith. This is all we have to hold on to, plus the brotherhood. And that's all a part of the truth. Okay? It says, if in this life only we have hope in Hamashiach, we are of all men most miserable. If all we have to hold on to is Hamashiach, we're miserable. Guess what? That's all we have to hold on to. And the brotherhood and truth. All right? The only thing that's miserable about being here is we're here. But we make the best of this situation. So keep the faith, brothers. Okay? This place is out of there. Now, let's look at the upside of this. 20. But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead. So it did happen. And become the first fruits of them that slept. That's why when we go back to right here in 52, it says, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. Back to verse 20. But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead and become the first fruit of them that slept. So his spirit, after he died and was resurrected, did the same to the men that he called and chose. The same thing happened to them. Okay? For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. Okay? It was a man. You think about this. Adam and Eve. She fell off. He followed. This is a little spiritual for people that really don't understand if they're watching this video. Eve fell, Adam followed. That's how sin came about. Okay? Now, it says, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. So a man fell, so a man would have to fall also to turn and reverse the things that came from the first fall. So in hindsight, Adam and Yahweh Shai are the same spirit, same being. Okay? Someone just had an opportunity to correct their wrong. Guess what that gives us? The same way, an opportunity to correct our wrong. Yahweh Shai understood that this hiccup that happened caused everyone to fall. And by everyone falling, that same spirit will be the same one to give everybody a chance to also get it right. Ain't that something? That's total redemption. I know I failed y'all, but guess what? I'm going to redeem myself. And by me doing this, you get a chance to redeem yourself also. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Okay? It says, for as in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive. Okay? But every man in his own order, Hamashiach, the first fruits, afterward they that are Hamashiach's at his coming. So it's an order this thing is going to happen. 24, then cometh the end. So all these men that slept, now they're going to awake and arise and do the will, and the elect will be sealed, and first fruits and all those things, and the kingdom's coming after that. Okay? It says, then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Okay? It's going to be no more wickedness. It's going to be righteous. Okay? But brothers, keep the faith. Now just imagine, it's people that's running around that have a spirit on them that believe that this what if is reality. We know better. Okay? Hope this is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to you. I can push this truth throughout the four winds. Shalom.